All right, guys, we got our mess cleaned up. We got all our tools put back up, and we got the floor swept so the stupid cherry picker will roll. I don't know what it is about cherry pickers, but like, those things will tote the world, but they won't roll over nothing. You got to have the floor clean for them things. All right, well, we're going to try to test fit this thing and get it stuck down in there and see what we're going to have to butcher out and maneuver to make the air conditioning work. Hopefully, this is going to go pretty smoothly. I just got some concerns about the air conditioning piece. All right, we're going to get to it. All right, that's way better. All right, we're going down just a little bit. Hopefully, we don't drop it on the truck. All right. Probably need to move the hood latch cable out of the way. And we're going to shove it on back somewhere. All right, well, now we got to go back up. May have let it down a little too much. And we're oozing transmission fluid. I have done drained the transmission fluid out of this stupid thing, and it's still oozing it. You're probably gonna have to go a long ways if we're gonna go back. Okay. I don't know how it's going to roll backwards real good. That's going way smoother than I had anticipated. Okay. If you'll kind of balance it, I'll go shove it backwards. It ain't going to fall once I shove it backwards about a ½ inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ain't got to go far.
Come on back a little more if you can. Not just the bottom, but sitting on. You get the whole thing back.
I got to move the power steering line out of the way here.
So if you come back another 3 inches, I'll be sitting on the dang crossing on the thing there.
I'm going to go down a little bit. We're touching the firewall.
Yeah, that's fine.
Without dropping it completely out of the state. Okay?
Well, I hope. Whoa, okay, I see what you mean there.
Yeah.
That's what you mean. Is that good for you a little bit?
Need to come back forward
All back forward?
to make the motor mounts line up. I have shoved her back about 3 days too far.
Ain't you did a bit behind you?
Well, I mean, it won't go down in there, but dang, that thing, if I take that bracket right there off, this thing might accidentally clear and not have to butcher out nothing. It might have to trim it out a little bit, but it might clear. All right, well, let's raise her back up just a pinchy while.
Go ahead. That's on you. I ain't doing nothing.
All right.
Is that what you need?
No, it's got to come back forward, but I'm gonna have to take this little bracket right here off. So you can take a break for a second. Well, yeah. Is it going, if we come back forward about 1.5 inches, is it going to be touching anything?
I mean, it'll be sitting on the couch on the house.
Yeah, that's fine. I got it, because I got a different cross member. I got to take that cross member out and put a different cross member in. So, I just got to get that. That right there is jacked up. But I really want this factory air conditioner to work because I'm not trying to buy a $600 air compressor mount. I'd rather buy this like $160 air compressor mount. But we get this mocked up and get everything fitting, I can take it back out, Krylon Kenny rebuild this thing, and put some new gaskets and stuff on it, and we'll be about ready to start putting junk together. All right, we're coming back forward just a pinchy while.
All right, come back. Look.
This side over here needs to come a lot. We might have to move the motor mount on this side, but then again, I think they're loose, so I think they slide around some.
Whoa.
Man, she took off right there. Oh yeah, we got the back up. Somewhere right in there. I don't know about the other side, but well, dang, that's pretty close. All right, can we let her down some without dropping her? Oh, I think we got to go back up. All right. I think she's hitting this little screwdriver right here, and I don't want it to break the wires. If we take that off, it might fit down in there. We'll have to trim it out so it don't hit the frame rail when the motor moves. But it might fit down in there. That would be cool. But I gotta. It's kind of in there. I think we're gonna have to trim that a little bit. All right. What do you got? We're gonna need some more lights. We can't see. It's got to go over and down. Okay. What's it got to go on your side? It's got to come towards me just a pinchy while. Bend down. Okay. I don't know if it's going to go down without taking the, yeah. Take these little bolts right here out just in case, because they look like they're fixing to get knocked off. We're going to have to trim that out just a little bit. But it looks like it was made to cut that out. Look at all them 1100 holes in there. It's got to be made to cut that out. That's what they put that there. They wanted us to be able to cut it out. All right. What's that side over there look like?
That side might go in.
Yeah.
This side. What?
All right, let it on down.
Oh, you give me the 40.
Well, it should be already down in there now. It shouldn't matter. It ain't like it's gonna fall out. It's already in there. All right. All right, well, it fits, but we're going to have to butcher this spot out just a little bit to make the hoses fit. But that won't be that bad.
Oh, she's there.
And we got days worth of room behind it. I mean, days worth of room back there.
Oh, yeah, we got plenty of room for turbo fuel.
All right, guys, well, we got the motor set down in there, and the air condition compressor fit down in that hole. We had to take the little bracket off to hold that wire on, but I think you could actually put it back on now that you got it off. But we are going to have to nip it out just a little around this spot right here, where so we're going to be able to get some fittings on there. I'm hoping that I've ordered some adapter fittings to go from the flat face to the old style things, and I'm hoping that I can they're just little straighties. I'm hoping they're going to stick up just enough that I can put like a 45 or a 90 on it to get it away from the frame rail, so I don't have to whack it out way far up in here. Maybe right here where all these 1100 holes are. I mean, obviously this was probably done for a reason. Like they made it just so we could put this motor in here, guys, because I didn't drill them 1100 holes right there. They were just factory already there. So we could just nip out around them little holes and clean that up, and hopefully the lines will fit on there. All right, well, I'm going to bring you guys in and let y'all see exactly how close it is and what I am talking about. And we're going to get them fittings checked, trim that out some, make some measurements to trim it out, and then we'll pull the motor out, trim it out, make sure that all fits, and then we'll be ready to take it apart and We're going freshen it up, put some fresh gaskets and stuff on it, and give it a nice Krylon Kenny rebuild with the rattle can, and clean it up and make it look pretty nice. And then put it back in for the final time, hopefully, and start bolting stuff up. This actually went in a lot smoother than I had anticipated. So, and I still got plenty of room right here. Like, I got way more room right here than I was thinking. I was thinking that transmission was going to take up a lot. But I knew that the transmission has got to come up like 3 days because it's not in the right, like, it's just sitting back there right now. I got the right cross member. I got to take the old cross member out and put that cross member in. And I think I'm going to modify that cross member just a little bit because it technically bolted into holes on the bottom of the frame just like the old one did. But, like, I didn't have any bolts in mine because we had done knocked them off. It done drug the ground so many times it done knocked all the bolts off the bottom. So I think I'm going to trim those off and probably weld some plates in the side, drill some holes in the side of the frame rail, and bolt it in that way. That way the bolts stay in it. I ain't really trying to have the cross member just hanging out in there, not being attached to nothing. All right, well, I'm going to bring you guys in and show y'all. All right, guys, as y'all can see, she's close. It did fit down in there. You see that one right? That one right there. I mean, you're going to have to trim this. Look at all these 5,100 holes. It's crazy. I wonder what all them holes was for. But I'm just going to notch it out just around that right there. And I think I'll be able to get a fitting down in there, put it on, and then just 45 it back. I might get just 45 it back, or 45 it up is what I'm hoping. Like put a 45 on it and make it come straight up, and then go back to the air conditioning thing. It's kind of what I'm hoping, just to make it clear a little bit. And then, or I've had 45s and just bent them a little bit to make them different angles and stuff. But try to get that going. But it fit down in there. I mean, like, once it's in there, other than the line, it's got plenty of room to make stuff happen. Like, I don't know why anybody's never done that, but, like, I looked and looked and looked, and I could never find anybody that really, I had like one person that had done that. But this ain't hard. So, as long as I can make the lines fit, that's going to be sweet. Then I can buy my air conditioning compressor bracket that's going to set my air conditioning compressor right here, or for my air compressor. And then I won't have to change that one. I can just buy the bracket for my air compressor. And all my air compressor stuff was already right here. So all that junk will hook back up nice and simple, hopefully. You can see that we got room, a pretty good bit of room. Nice. We got plenty of room for the power steering lines to hook up. This line right here will be in place of this line. So we'll just probably put all new lines on the thing, because some of these lines look old. Like, these things look like the OG original ones. I'm going to go ahead and change some of those. But that's pretty much got that. And then this line will go in place of this line. It takes off and just goes in place of that line. And then this little line right here, it's just got, we got to do some kind of modifying right here. I'll probably get me a fitting to just run it to right there. And that'll be it. Well, I might put a transmission, or I might put a power steering cooler on it, because it don't have a power steering cooler right now. So that would probably be a good investment. Just put like a little cooler on it. All right, well, we should be able to whack that out and get that air conditioning stuff figured up, and then we'll be ready to go back to it. Oh, I did get these. We just robbed these there projects off of the Cadillac. Since we're not putting that turd back together right now, I will take these and sandblast them, and I'm going to try to find somebody to ceramic coat them. But these will fit like they're supposed to, right there. And they have plenty of clearance. No problem. Now, I probably will lop the end off I don't know. I might see. I might just hook it up, but I might lop the end of it off and put like a regular, like V-band on the end of it. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out when we get there. All right, guys, we're back. I've got the motor lifted up a little bit. I got some fittings to go here, and I think if we just trim this spot out right here, we're going to try to cut the least amount as possible. And we're going to cut it out until we get that air conditioning fitting to fit. And this shouldn't be that big a deal. I don't really know why people don't do this more. I mean, I'd whack this whole side out if I had to, and I'd bend me a piece to make it come all the way out there, out of the way. I'd make me a new frame rail up here if I had to. Ooh, let's not catch the world on fire. Alright, well maybe the rubber glove wasn't such a good idea. Well, dang. We gotta find something to put over that because I don't want to get stuff in the compressor. Okay. Alright, we're gonna try that again with something besides the rubber glove over the air compressor. I completely jacked that up, but we can clean it up and grind it up and make it look pretty. So we didn't do a good job of making it look pretty. Okay. Let's move that out the way and let it cool off for a second. And then we're going to set it back down in there. Alright, let's let her down. Try to get it lined back up with the motor number. Ooh, easy turbo. It's gotta come up a little bit. It ain't gotta come up much. We will never get a fitting on that. Ever. It's gonna be all the way out there on the edge, I think. This side right here, we got that. Fittings on that one for days. That one, not so much. Alright, well, I'm gonna raise it back up and trim it out a little better. Maybe this time I can trim it out a little better, not butcher it up so much. Alright. Take the sweet ratchet strap and put the motor to the side. That way. Boy, you got room to cut stuff without forking up the world. Try to make this look a little nicer this time. The hot knife. hopefully that time, I might have to trim it right there a little bit more. I don't know. Hopefully that time that's going to get us. I don't want to cut it too much. I don't want to get it too close to the flange. That's a lot. Let that cool off for a minute. We're going to drop the motor back down in there again. Because obviously we dropped it a while ago. Wait. Man. We're close. It's got to come up a little bit. We're close. Hey, I might take the slutter and slut that out a little and get that on there. Let's get this old line at least a little. One of these fitness leak. I don't remember which one it was. Ever got it started? Hey, that one would probably go if you ever get it started. You're gonna have to adjust it a little bit, but you just gotta come up a little to get the bolt holes. Okay, maybe it's got to come up a mile to get the bolt holes. Okay, that's pretty close. We could probably get started. Oh yeah, we can grind that up and make that fit. I feel confident. Let's see if we get a 90 on it. I don't know which end we need to put back on this thing. Right here. I'd like to put a 90. Oh, I think if we clean that up, it'll go. Because I think that this one went to the compressor and the thing. Yeah, that one went like that. And the other one went up here. That one went to the compressor. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to need one of these ends on that end right there to make that work. And I prefer that one to be on there, to be honest with you. If any way possible, I'd about rather have that one. I think that's gonna work, guys. Look at that. All right, well now that we have successfully got the frame rail butchered out so that the air conditioning lines will fit the air conditioning compressor, which went way smoother than I was anticipating. I was thinking we was going to have to notch that thing and give like the front of it like a little side notch or something, but I actually didn't have to cut it out as much as I thought I was going to make that thing fit. I don't know why more people don't make that fit, but they don't. But I'll be able to put the compressor right there, and all my lines will still reach, and everything will be good. Well, we're going to get the motor out and go ahead and freshen it up. It's pretty low miles and stuff, but, you know, she's been sitting for like a while. So I'm going to go ahead and put some new fresh gaskets, front, rear mains, valve cover gasket, oil pan gasket. Just freshen her up and give her the Cryline Kenny rebuild with the rattle can. Paint it up real nice. That way it looks good. And we'll go ahead and sand and wire brush and paint the chassis and fix the fuel lines and anything else we got to fix in between there while we got the motor out. And we'll be ready to put it back in. All right, let's get it out and see if we can't get this motor on a stand tonight. All right, we got back up a little bit. Got too excited. We are hemmed up. We got the back up. Reback. Now let's go up. Well, that ain't bad. I'm just telling y'all that if you ain't got one of these air-powered joints on your cherry picker, you are messing up. My buddy Cody gave me this sweet cherry picker, and the cylinder was messed up. And it was literally only like $20 more at the Harbors to the Freight to get the one with the air thing versus the little handle thing. It is still got the handle thing if you need it, but it just makes life so much more convenient. I ain't kidding. I guess I should probably go ahead and take the torque converter bolts out since I got it up this high, huh? Alright. Sounds like a pretty good plan. Find me some tools. Alright. Now, she should turn over way smoother. I guess I need to go get me a light. Here to go. I am dumping the bucket over again. Let's just raise her up a little. All right. All right, let's try that again after I've cleaned up my Valdez oil mess. This thing just keeps making transmission fluid. I don't know. I've drained it out like 3-4 times now, and it just keeps going. It never ends. But then I realized that you probably guys couldn't even see what I was doing over here after we done took the motor out. The camera was way back yonder. I'm over here talking to myself because y'all can't see what's going on. So I figured I'd move y'all around a little closer so y'all could see what's going on now. All right, well, now we're going to take these torque converter bolts out while I kind of still got it up on the cherry picker, and we'll let it down, take the bell housing bolts out so we can pick this thing up and get it on the engine stand. All right, let's get us a dude jobber. I don't know that the little strap-on gun's got enough balls to take this out, but we're going to try. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. All right, let's get something different. We get it loose, maybe the strap-on gun can do it. Give it a little head start. Man, somebody glued them things in there. They got locked tight over the whole thing. No wonder the snap-on guy couldn't do it. You can't get the little turd and give it a little credit. She was trying, though. All right, on to the next one. Ow! Not ideal. There we go. All right, on to the next one. All right. How convenient. All right, well now we need to, we've already got the bolts out the bottom because they were attached to the original oil pan. So now we should be able to let it down, take the top bolts out, and pull the transmission off. And then we should be able to put it on the stand. Look at that. All right. These are the truck parts. I got to go into this cart. This cart over here has got the motor parts on it. see. I guess I could put these tools up. All right, well, it's still draining transmission fluid. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out, I'm gonna pull out all the bolts except for just like 2 or 3 while it's draining, then we'll let it down and take them all out. Got these nifty brackets still glued onto a bunch of this. I'm glad this is still the 6L80 with a dipstick tube. Them ones that don't have a dipstick tube gets me. I'm like, I want to be able to check the fluid. All right. All right, well, hopefully we've about drained enough transmission fluid out that it's not going to make a horrifying mess. And I'm going to try not to just drop it on the floor. Pretty sure I'm just about to dump the fluid on the floor, but maybe not. No, here we go. All right. Oh, sitting on the air compressor. There we go. All right. Let's scooch her up to the next hole and pick her back up a little bit. Then it's probably going to want to tip over when we change the transmission, but hey. All right, I get my light and clean up my mess. I don't know how I can make such a big mess. Like, you can drain the fluid out of stuff and it just keeps growing. Like, I drained the power steering, all the power steering out, took the motor out, everything. How they don't make messes on TV? I guess because they got people that can clean it up between TV commercials, huh? All right, and lights. You got to place lights in certain places or you can't see, and then you're blinding you guys and y'all can't see. And I never would have thought that some of this stuff is quite as complicated as it is. All right, let's see how much more of a mess we can make. All right, go get me a pry bar. Give it a little shaky, shaky, wobble, wobble. Oh yeah. Let's move this so we don't just completely make a mess. Stuck on them there dowel pins. Probably need to get a little oil around them there dowel pins. Easy, easy, easy does it, easy does it. All right, she's pretty loose. Oh yeah, I can see this dowel cleaning out now. I actually think I pulled the dowel out of the block on that side, but we can put it back in. Ooh, there we go. Look at that. All right, now how big of a mess are we making? I'm sure we're making one. We're not quite balanced completely, but we're probably close enough to get it on the stand. All right, what do I do with that rag? Clean my mess up again. All right, guys. Well, we got the motor test fitted. We got the frame rail whacked out. We got the air condition fittings where they're going to clear. So that's going to pretty much do it for this video. The next video, we're going to get it on the engine stand. We're going to get it tore apart, cleaned up, Krylon Kenny rebuild, and paint the frame rails and get everything painted and cleaned up so we can start assembling. All right, thank y'all for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and keep a fat guy motivated, because we ain't got a lot of time and we still got to get this thing finished. Thank y'all. Have a blessed day.